And before we begin, I would like to introduce some of our special guests that are joining us this evening. First, we have Dr. Heather Wilson, Utep President. Jay Logan, Vice President for Institutional Advancement. Dr. Beth Brunk-Chavez, Dean of Extended University. Chelsea Lamego, Assistant Vice President for Operations, Institutional Advancement. Audrey Price, AVP for Development and Liaison for the College of Alumni, School of Nursing and the School of Pharmacy. We have John Aranda, Director of Development and Liaison with the College of Liberal Arts. And Alumni Association past president. And Mr. Tim Hausman, Senior Director of Corporate and Foundation Relations. One more, we also have Tim German, Senior Director of Advancement Services. We are also very pleased to have with us some representatives of our different alumni groups. Please stand and be recognized. Past presidents of the Utep Alumni Association. Members of the Utep Black Alumni Network. Is there somebody here from members of the Utep Young Alumni Network? Members of the Utep Social Alumni Network, Social Work Alumni Network. Members of the Utep Student Alumni Association. Any minor ambassadors present? And members of the Utep Heritage Commission. We are also extremely happy to be live streaming this event so that we could include our board members who live out of town, our Lifetime and Picks Up members, and anyone else who could not join us in person. Thank you all for being here and for your continued support of the Utep Alumni Association. This is a very special evening for us because it is when we get to share with you our state of the association and showcase some of the great things we've done in the past year. This is also when we get to turn a page in our leadership and transition from one alumni association president to another. That will happen a little later in the program. Every year we ask our membership to come together to celebrate the association and to hear about the great things we are doing for and with Utep alumni around the globe. Please allow me to share with you the 2021 Utep Alumni Association State of the Association. Miners forever, stronger together. That slogan has come to mean so much for our Utep community, especially this past year, when we didn't have the luxury of in-person interactions. Our connection to each other and to our alma mater had to transcend all physical expectations. We forged new ties and made new minor memories on our computer screens. The COVID-19 pandemic, while devastating in so many ways, highlighted the importance of human interactions and the values that matter most. The year 2020-2021 was indeed a historic one for the Utep Alumni Association, and one that board president Martha Aguayo led with patience and grace. She understood early on that her year as president would be different than any other year. Today, as we transition to a post-COVID year for the Utep Alumni Association, it's important to showcase some of the association's highlights. Like all other organizations across the globe, the association embraced virtual engagement. Whether it was a board meeting or a holiday party with Utep alumni spread out across the country, video conferencing became the vehicle that brought us together. This tool gave us the opportunity to strengthen one of our most important campus partnerships with the Utep Career Center. Thanks to a strong collaboration, we were able to provide several professional development webinars to Utep students and alumni throughout the pandemic. Topics included establishing your LinkedIn profile, mastering the interview, and negotiating the job offer. Additionally, thanks to funding provided by Utep through the CARES Act, approximately 1,000 LinkedIn learning accounts were granted to Utep alumni so they could continue honing their skills over the past year. That resulted in more than 11,000 videos viewed and almost 2,000 courses accessed by our alumni thanks to these activations. And while our in-person events took a hiatus during the pandemic, our alumni networks did a phenomenal job of continuously engaging our minors everywhere. There were monthly Sunday brunch meetings with the Rocky Mountain Alumni Network, a salsa dance Zoom class with our Houston Alumni Network, Leadership After 5 panel discussions with our Young Alumni Network, and alumni bike rides in San Antonio, just to name a few. And speaking of alumni networks, I'm proud to announce that we added one more to the family this past year, the Mid-Atlantic Alumni Network. And we're also in talks with dedicated alumni in Phoenix who are close to finalizing the details on becoming an official network as well. The COVID-19 pandemic forced us to do many things differently. But what it also did was propel us to provide assistance to those who needed it most. Our alumni family really came through for Utep students through the Student Emergency Fund, a crowdfunding project that was launched to help students who were directly impacted by the pandemic. Not every student was able to switch to remote learning immediately because of technological deficiencies. Also, when businesses had to close their doors, many of our students lost their employment, directly affecting their quality of life. The Student Emergency Fund provided much needed support, and additionally, the Utep Food Pantry also saw an increase in requests for assistance. We also know that this past year, alumni giving increased by 24% from the previous year, thanks to gifts to such projects as the Student Emergency Fund. We also continue to grow MinorLink, our online alumni portal, and our Picks Up memberships to the Utep Alumni Association, which is free to all Utep alumni. One of the features of MinorLink is the Minor Business Directory, which is a place for all minor business owners to showcase their business. It's yet another important way that minors can support minors. Earlier this month, we had our annual board retreat, and it was the first time that board members and alumni staff came together in person in more than 16 months. The energy was palpable as we came together and made a commitment to work hard on behalf of Utep. It is that same renewed energy with which we are approaching the fall semester that marks the return of in-person events. This weekend, we will join Utep Athletics to welcome Miner fans back to the Sun Bowl to cheer on the Miners. We will be part of the Speaking Rock pregame parties, and next month we will bring back the Utep Alumni Association Golf Tournament to raise money for student scholarships. And just 2 weeks after that, we will join our campus colleagues for Homecoming 2021. We look forward to honoring our 2020 Distinguished Alumni and Gold Nugget honorees at this year's event and truly celebrating their accomplishments. We hope you all will join us for those events throughout the week and at the Distinguished Alumni Dinner on October 1st. We are also working with Student Affairs to provide exciting programming for all of our students who have returned to campus this fall. Next week, we will launch the 35 Under 35 Alumni Speaker Series that will feature young, up-and-coming alumni in the areas of law, business, journalism, nonprofit work, and more. But the most substantial amount of work will be dedicated to implementing a new strategic plan for the Alumni and Donor Engagement Program, which includes institutional advancement and the Alumni Association. This plan, developed with the help of an engagement alumni consultant, identified 7 areas of focus for us to focus on the next 5 years. They are organizational dynamics, culture of philanthropy, campus partnerships, alumni data and analytics, communications, alumni outreach and engagement, and students and new alumni. It goes without saying that everyone is ready for a new year and new opportunities. We would not have been able to get to this point without the leadership of Martha Aguayo, and similarly, we will not be able to meet our future goals without the leadership of incoming President Bernardino Olave. Their combined passion for Utep is incredible, and we are the lucky ones to be able to work alongside them on this journey to excellence. Miners forever, stronger together. We are honored this evening to have Dr. Wilson join us. Dr. Heather Wilson became the 11th president of Utep in 2019. Before Utep, Dr. Wilson served as the 24th Secretary of the United States Air Force and as a member of Congress for 10 years from New Mexico. She also served as president of the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology. As Utep's president, she has guided the university and its 25,000 students and 3,000 faculty and staff forward, increasing research proposal submissions, improving retention rates, adding degree programs, and developing a long-term enrollment strategy, mostly during a pandemic. Dr. Wilson is a member of the National Science Board and serves on the Board of Advisors for private space company Blue Origin, and she also chairs the Women in Aviation Advisory Board of the Federal Aviation Administration. Please help me in welcoming Dr. Wilson to the podium.
Thank you so much, Mirabelle. Welcome back. It is absolutely wonderful to see people back on campus. And I was talking to a few of you in the back. I think we Martha, I think you and I need a do-over of pretty much the whole year, right? Well, I wanted to thank you for your leadership of this organization through an amazing time in the history of this country, where you had to adapt and continue to lead. And I think your passion could be felt across the Zoom screens. So thank you for everything that you've done. We are back, and we're back stronger than ever. In the first 2.5 weeks of school, we decided that we needed to ramp things up a little bit. Of course, the football team seemed to help that at New Mexico State on Saturday. But if you see anyone from student affairs over the next couple of weeks and they look a little tired, that's for good reason. We have 47 student events in the first 2.5 weeks of school. And it started out with fireworks over the campus, and I'm glad that they didn't ask the president for permission in advance, because then I would have had to talk to the fire marshal and insurance people. I'm sure all that was taken care of. But it was a wonderful welcome back, and something new. One of the great things about having a bit of a pause and coming back is that we can try new things, new experiences, and see what it is that's most meaningful to our alumni and to our students. And I was very glad to hear that the Texas Western Gold Rush, getting students back together and having a program on the first night of school, and just welcoming people back and celebrating was so well received. We had over 3,000 students on Centennial Plaza, and we lit up the sky. It's not only that, though. One of the things that was very clear from our strategic plan is that we needed to deepen our engagement with our students and have them feel more like a part of something bigger than themselves. And all of you play a really important role in creating that culture, both for your role model as leaders in the community and minor alumni, but with direct engagement with our students and opportunities along the way. Students succeed more when they have at least one adult caring role model who's part of their educational journey. And all of us here know that half of our students are the first in their family to go to college. 2/3 of our students come from families making less than $37,000 a year. As role models, as graduates of this institution who have charted your own path, you're very important to all of them. And so thank you for being engaged with our students, for providing them opportunities, for answering their questions, and for showing them how it's done. We really appreciate it, and we're going to be calling on you more for those kinds of experiences with our students to make education possible. We've had a number of other things going on campus that just chart a wonderful and bright future for this university. I mentioned that we've completed a strategic plan and an enrollment plan during the pandemic, but we also signed a partnership with the Space Force last week to open opportunities for our students to go to the stars if that's where they want to go, and certainly do research that might take them there. That's not new for this university. This university has been involved in that kind of research and teaching since the beginning of the space age, with partnerships at White Sands Missile Range. And of course now we've got Virgin Galactic to the north of us, and we've got Virgin Galactic to the north of us, and I'm not going to even try to finish that. Well, we've got Virgin Galactic to the north of us. We've got Blue Origin. We've got Blue Origin to the east of us, and I think all of us watched that morning when Wally Funk, who was denied the opportunity to go to space in the 1960s, had her dream come true. And I know that there were students on this campus who watched that and watched what happened with Blue Origin who thought, you know something? That's something I want to be part of. And Utep can make that happen. 3/4 of the engineers who were at the Blue Origin site east of here, 3/4 of them at that site were educated at Utep. Wow. Bachelor of Science in Aeronautics and Aerospace here at Utep. It's actually been building for quite some time as part of the mechanical engineering department. But there were enough courses there to be able to establish a separate degree. And it's one of the #1 degrees that students would ask for here that we were not able to offer. And now we're able to offer it. Our sociology department in the College of Liberal Arts has put forward a PhD program which is very strong. So we'll add one more PhD to the portfolio here, a PhD in sociology here at Utep. That builds on a legacy of increasing research and focusing on the advancement of knowledge that has taken place here since 1992. And that year was important because it was in that year that people from El Paso went to court to tell Austin that we wanted great education here, where our children were growing up, and not just 800 miles away. Opportunity for this university to become a Class 1 research university. And the faculty and the staff here sees that opportunity. We are now more than $100 million in research expenditure every year. And every one of those PhDs was built since 1992, with the exception of geology, which was the one that we were allowed to have. We graduated 139 PhD graduates last year, and we're in the top 5% of research institutions in this country. There were 25,000 students at Utep, and graduated last year over 5,100 students from this university. But it's still not good enough. You know, this region of Texas actually puts more of its high school students into college or technical training than any other region in Texas. But here's the problem. Texas is so far behind the national average. Being the best in Texas isn't good enough if our competition is in Singapore or Munich, Germany. All of us have to look at children in our neighborhoods or at our churches, or they go to school with our kids or our grandkids, who might not have that seed planted, and tell them that they need to go to college, and that college is affordable because of Utep. That's the ticket to a dream. Since 2008, there's been about 12 million jobs created in America. 12 million since the recession. Over 95% of them required some form of a college degree or a certificate. What was good enough for our parents and our grandparents is not good enough for our children and our grandchildren. And all of you, as alumni, carry that message with you. In your example, in your service, in your words to the next generation. So thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you.
For this wonderful university. I am so glad to not be stuck in my living room anymore. And it's going to be an absolutely wonderful, wonderful, wonderful year. We're back in force, and 5 years from now, nobody's going to doubt that one of the top 5 universities in Texas is the University of Texas at El Paso.
Thank you, Dr. Wilson. I know I speak for all of us when I say that we look forward to our continued work with you to advance the university. At this time, our program switches gears. We've heard about all the wonderful things that the association has done in the past year, and obviously that was thanks to the leadership of its president, Martha Isabel Aguayo. Martha joined the board in 2011 after having been a past president of the El Paso Alumni Chapter, and through the years she has chaired numerous other committees. Martha is exactly the kind of board member and president every organization needs because she absolutely sets the example for everyone else. When it came to lifetime memberships, Martha never had any qualms about asking an alum if they were a lifetime member, and if they weren't, she almost was always successful in getting them to sign up on the spot. When it came to seeking sponsorships for things like the golf tournament, Martha always reached out to her strong networks for support. But most importantly, when it came to helping Utep students, Martha created a scholarship endowment that will be a wonderful legacy to her love for Utep for years to come. Despite the pandemic, she led this past year with grace, patience, much needed humor, and most of all, kindness. Please welcome to the podium, Martha Aguayo.
Okay. Maribel, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And wow, has this been a great year or an amazing year? Something that none of us could have ever thought of and experienced. But you know what? I told Maribel a year ago, maybe June, July of last year. I said, you know what, Maribel? This year is going to be the year that never was. Nothing's going to happen. I mean, we were shut down. We couldn't go out. And so I thought, I'm not going to do anything this year. Well, guess what? Boy, was I wrong. Was I completely wrong? Because this year, and I know that after coming from the retreat, Verna, we are all so energetic and pumped up because this year has set the foundation for many years to come. But I'll tell you what, there are 4 things that I learned from the COVID pandemic that we all experienced. One of them, first and foremost, is family. You know, it was amazing that we couldn't see friends, we couldn't see family. And it was, I don't know about you all, but I come from a small family, 9 kids. We missed each other. We missed each other, okay? But it was what it was. But that's one of the first things that I learned about COVID, how important family and friends are. The second thing I learned was that back on March 12th, we were talking about March 13th, the day that we all learned about the restrictions, which happened to be, by the way, of Friday the 13th. Anyway, we started learning about technology. Before March, I had never heard of Zoom. Had you? I mean, we had never done that. So now it's like Zoom is like our every other word now. But anyway, so that was interesting how technology has changed all our lives. And I really believe and feel that it's been for the best. I mean, for many of us that were hesitant, we had to do it if we wanted to continue doing business. So that to me was amazing. The third thing that I've learned is that, you know what? We can work remotely. Who would have thought of that? I mean, I'm a realtor and I've been working from my home, but I see many of you who have been working at home. Some of you like it, some of you don't. But now hopefully we can do both, do a hybrid and of some sort. But you know, companies have learned, and I just heard that it was whether Google or LinkedIn, where they announced that their employees can work permanently, remotely. So again, there you go for that. And then the fourth thing that I learned, and it was like, who would have thought of that? That I could order groceries and drive up, they bring them to me, and that was a done deal. That's a brilliant idea. Who would have thought of that? But anyway, so those are the four things that I learned. But I'll tell you what, when I became president, one of the first things I asked board members, what was one of the first things that they wanted to do when the COVID restrictions were lifted? And you know what? It was amazing that you almost unanimously, they all said, we want to go back and meet in person. And for those new board members that came on board, Dr. Coley and I know George, that came on board last year, we didn't meet you, only via Zoom. So that's why, again, the retreat was amazing, that we got to meet board members that came on board last year, and of course the ones from this year. So again, meeting in person, and again, I don't know, again, for those of you that are from out of town, but us here, Hispanic culture, we're used to the abrazo, you know, we used to greeting each other. So again, now it's like, do we do a fist or do we hug? I mean, we don't know, right? We don't know, but again, we're getting back to the old way, and I love that. But again, I keep talking about the retreat. Berna, thank you so much for the retreat. Your committee, board members, what did you all think of the retreat? It was from day one. I'm telling you, I think that was, again, Berna, the best thing, was getting to meet each other. And again, I guess we were all hungry for that, being together and getting to know each other. So again, the retreat was just amazing. So again, and I believe, like Maribel said, that that presented and established the foundation for many future years of the association. At this time, I would like to acknowledge and recognize all the board members. Would you all please stand? I want everybody to know who you are. All the board members. Thank you. Because again, without you all, and I know that I have mentioned this, I don't know if y'all can hear me. I know I have a loud voice. You can hear me? Okay. I know I have a pretty loud voice. But anyway, again, to the executive committee, all the board members, I'm so thankful and proud that you all embraced virtual engagement. And one thing that I keep thinking about, a video, the Christmas party we had with James. You guys wearing that uni-top pajamas. He was amazing. But anyway, we had a great time doing all our virtual events. So again, it can be done, absolutely. But again, it's best when we do it in person. So again, thank you very much. At this time, I would like to acknowledge the executive board, because again, the executive board took charge of their committees, and they did an amazing job. So, okay, of course, Dr. James Jones is not here. He lives in San Antonio. So, Judy, so we're gonna mail him his, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sergio, is Sergio here? I haven't seen him. He could not join us today, Judy?
Something must have happened.
Okay, so Sergio's not here. By the way, Dr. James Jones is the Vice President of Alumni Engagement, and again, he kept in touch with all the networks and did an amazing job. Sergio Estrada, I am proud to share with you that COVID impacted the association. The vice president that came on board beginning of the year was Maria Zampini. She works for UNC. And of course, because what happened with COVID and what happened at the hospital, her time was very limited. So I asked Sergio Gamboa, who's an attorney, if he could take over, and without a second doubt, he came on board and he did an amazing job with the student being a vice president of student engagement. So again, thank you to both. Membership, what can I say about Fred Lopez? Fred, if you could come here. Thank you. So Fred, I gotta tell you, Fred's first year, 3 years ago, again, that happened to where the vice president of membership had to leave the board. So Fred was asked to step up, and believe me, he has been with the membership 3 years, and he has done an amazing year. So Fred, a big thank you. Big thank you. Arturo, what can I say about Arturo? Arturo is our vice president of Ways and Means, and again, the board member that was in charge of the committee had to step down because of COVID. I come to Arturo and right away, yes. It's funny, I have to share this, Arturo, because even this morning, we're working on, like Maribel mentioned, we're working on the golf tournament. Arturo goes to the dentist. He can't talk because the dentist is working on him. And he does ask for a gift, some kind of a donation, golf sponsorship. The man doesn't stop. I love it. So Arturo, a big, big thank you. And of course, our secretary, Becky Ramos-Burge. Becky lives in Seattle, and of course, she could not join us today, so hopefully she's watching us. But anyway, Becky, thank you for being our secretary. She does an amazing job. We would have a meeting, I'm not kidding you, within the 24 hours, she would have the minutes ready for us. Amazing job, so Becky, thank you. And Ms. Judy will also mail that to you. And again, what can I say about our treasurer, Manny? Manny Castruita. So again, I've always said this, and I'm a realtor, and I'm embarrassed to say this, but I'm terrible with numbers. But I'll tell you what, Manny is the man that knows numbers very well. He, kept us in shape, started a great sample of the budget, and gave us the numbers every month at every quarterly meeting. So Manny, thank you. And what can I say about Berna? Berna, thank you for your friendship, support. And I could always go to Berna and say, Berna, what do you think about this or that? Well, yeah or no, so thank you, amigo.
Thank you.
So I know we're in great hands, okay? And Laura, past president. Laura, I know you made a big commitment for the past 10 years to the association, to our university. So thank you very much. So would you please step up here? Oh, which by the way, I forgot to mention, today's Manny's birthday. Thank you. Yes. Okay, so again, thank you all, because we couldn't have done it without you all. At this time, I'd like to recognize board members who are leaving us. Can you believe that? They're leaving the board. And Laura, maybe you want to come back. Laura, we're going to be losing 3 board members this year, and Laura, you're one of them. So please come back and get this record. Will you take it through? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Laura, for your commitment, support, and help. I wasn't kidding, Laura. You were getting something else. So thank you. Thank you. And Rudy Gutierrez, I haven't seen Rudy. Is he here? No. Monica's not here. See, they already left us. I can't believe that. But again, they've been members for 3 years, and again, they've been amazing. By the way, I need to share with you, Rudy is our chair for the golf committee, and he's doing an amazing job. So thank you, Rudy. And then Monica, our biggest cheerleader. We're gonna miss her, but I know she's still involved with the university, and I believe she was very involved with Minor Palooza. So again, she's very involved with our university, so thank you. So anyway, so Dr. Wilson, thank you. Jake, Logan, what can I say? You have really started a big, you energized us, let me put it that way. You have energized us, and with your help and support, we've got a long ways to go, and which is all up, okay? Maribel, what can I say? Thank you. Judy, what can I say about Judy? She's the best. She's the best. Oh, by the way, so I also would like to recognize Melissa. Melissa, where are you? I know she's sitting back there. She's hiding. Melissa, she was recognized this year, which was a beautiful award and recognition for the Advisor of the Year. Melissa. Great work she does with students, so I mean a great testimonial of the great work she does. But anyway, so as I was writing this, I thought, okay, I'm coming from the retreat, working with a great group, a great team. I saw Michael Martinez. He used to be a board member. I don't know if many of you remember Mike. A great, in fact, now he's what, the mayor of Southern Park? Is that correct? Mayor of Southern Park. I mean, Mike has come a long ways, and he's doing amazing. But anyway, I saw this message from him in LinkedIn, and I asked him if I could borrow it and share it with you all, and he said yes. But anyway, he said, choose the people you surround yourself with wisely, because they significantly impact your potential and how successful you become. Is that the truth? And that's why we're all here, okay? And then he went on to quote Warren Buffett, and he said, surround yourself with people that push you to do better. No drama, no negativity, just higher goals and higher motivation. Good times and positive energy. No jealousy or hate. Simply bringing out the best of each other. I mean, have we done that? Are we doing that? Absolutely. So thank you. So again, I thank you everybody. I thank you very much for this honor. It's been great. I would like to thank my daughter. My daughter, I have to admit, she's a UT graduate. I love her. I still love her. A UT graduate. She's an attorney in Austin, and she's doing very well, and I don't think she'll ever come back to El Paso besides to visit. My son Chris is a Utep graduate. He, after being gone for 3.5 years, he calls me, Mom, can I go to Utep? And I asked him why, because I really wanted my kids to go out of town when they were going to the university. He said, Mom, I've decided on metallurgical engineering. So now I'm proud to say that he's a materials and metallurgical engineer, and ever since he graduated from UTEP in 2010, I mean, the kid has gone and done so well. So again, UTEP, again, we're a great ambassador for UTEP. Right now, he lives in New Orleans, which was a kind of a nerve-wracking weekend for me, him living in New Orleans, but thank God they're fine. And most of all, I also like to thank my grandkids, because I have to tell you, they had patience with me throughout the year, because even though Granny, that's me, I was home, I couldn't go out and play because I was on a Zoom meeting. Okay, so it's like, okay, I'll be there in an hour, I'll be there in half an hour, but anyway. So thank you, thank you. So again, Miners Forever, Stronger Together, right? Picks up Miners. Yeah. Now, as I end my year, because I did promise Berna that I will concede, yes. It is my honor to present Berna as new president for the 2021-2022 year. So Mr. Olage, please come to the podium and receive, they told me to throw you the gavel. I'm not going to throw it. No, yes, you're going to get a gavel. But I'm not going to throw it.
Oh, please.
Okay, I'm not going to throw it. Okay. So look at this. This is the gavel. So Mr. Berna Olage,
before you leave, I'd like to present you with this pin.
oh my God.
Past
but it has to go, I guess, on this side.
This side.
And it's a great honor that I present this to you, Martha, for your service, your dedication, and your love for this school, for Utep. Thank you. Well, this is my speech. I wrote a post-it note in case we had some technical difficulties. But two words come to mind right now: electrifying and extraordinary. Electrifying because after listening to Dr. Wilson, which she said the top 5 schools in Texas, Utep being one of them, I think I support that. And if everybody is on board with that, I'd like to, for you to stand up and give her another round of applause, please. So, good evening. Bienvenidos, buenas noches. It's an honor to be here tonight. And to me, I'd like to recognize Martha, because definitely based on, and I'm an engineer, so I will speak as an engineer. That's the model. That means nothing I can do. So based on my interaction with you for the last 12 months, and based on those parameters and metrics, I can say that you are a great mentor and a sound leader and a miner forever. So thank you, Martha, for that. So Electrify was for Dr. Wilson, the mentorship from Martha, and also from Laura Biggs. So I'd like to recognize those two past presidents interview. And the word extraordinary is the feeling of being here tonight. It's that feeling that when I look back, when I was a student at this school, I can share now this moment with my parents, el ingeniero Bernardino Olague Armendáriz, papá, my mom, Aurora Olague, my children, Isabel and Bernalín, and Dr. Priscilla Andrea Olague, who I hope she's watching this live stream, one of those media outlets that we have, and of course Mary Bernadette Rodarte, my significant other, who in the last 4 years has learned how to cope with engineers. It's not easy. We see things like 1, 2, 3, logical. These are the steps that we have to follow. And I mean, I look, things from a very square point of view. And I would like to thank my brother Jose Luis and my sister Yamel. Yamel is my sister, and she's taking care of my grandma, who is 100 years old, about 5 months and 3 days. So that's why I see their effort. I also want to recognize Dr. Carlos Ferregut, and I think you're out there. I see you. And Dr. Tuhil Nazarian, who was my mentor in my master's degree. I also want to recognize the folks that at the office will be putting up with me. It's not enough when they see me running around the office. And right now, there's 3 of my staff: Jesus, Ingeniero Engineer Jesus Baca, who's pursuing his PhD here at Utep, Diana Guerrero, and Ari Velez right there. She's taking the program. So thank you in advance for what you're about to do in the next 12 months. Back in 1991, that's when I joined the ranks of alums here at Utep. It took me 5 years to finish my bachelor's, and it only took me 10 to get my master's. So fast forward those 30 years, I can tell you that it's been it's awesome. It's been in this milestone, and in my post-student Utep alumni life, or Utep, yes, that's what it is. And I think those 30 years is what I would call a very, very robust prep time. And I, of course, some of these times I've tapped into some other engineers like Richard Martinez, who's an electrical engineer. Nothing against those guys, but that's part of these. So, in anticipation of the next 12 months of collaboration with the board and the most agile board that any president can look forward to having, and an alumni and donor engagement office under the leadership of both Maribel and Jake, who, without a doubt, it's a great guy to work with. We have to be very aware of those enemies that we don't see, or those issues associated with economic meltdown, or whatever happens in Afghanistan or the DMZ. I know that we will prevail, and we will emerge as one of the most successful universities that this galaxy has ever seen. And if that's not, real, then we won't. I will not be here for the top, school in, Utep in 5 years, and we will be. So we know, and I know that we are, El Paso is in this environment, with globalization, and we've been doing this global thing for years. But now with Bridging Galactic, and yes, a few hundred miles north with Richard Branson's project, I think that we recognize that our most vital element is the human resources that we have in El Paso area. So we are able to undertake any task that we want, and we will be successful. So how is that going to be possible? Well, the 2030 strategic plan that Dr. Wilson, pretty much, she has her name all over that document, will help us get there. And the second tool that we have is the 2026 strategic plan of the Alumni and Donor Engagement and Utep Alumni Association. So I know that everybody will be playing a key role in making this happen. And that's, to me, what it's vital to be part of this board. I have 2 daughters right here, sitting, and one hopefully watching, that to me was very important for them to attend this school, because what I have achieved, if I can multiply 10 times and have my grandchildren, at some point one of you will be a mother, will give me a grandson, or a granddaughter for that matter, that will be fine. So it's time for that. So I'm very happy, and that now we're going to be having our golf tournament, and that's how I started with the Alumni Association, being the chairman of the golf committee, and I did that job, and I didn't get fired. I was promoted instead to vice president of Ways and Means, and one job that Arturo Barrio took that responsibility, and I appreciate that very much when another board member stepped down. And so I want to thank everybody, all the board members, all the civil engineers. And I'd like to be a little bit selfish and ask those civil engineers in the room to raise their hand, please.
Oh.
There's quite a few of us, so for those board members that are not, I'd like to also recognize and ask you, to stand up. Well, that's been done, right? So I'm not gonna. Yes, okay. You see, that's what happens, Marta, when I follow the script. You beat me to the punch. So I would like to, at this point, then, ask the incoming executive committee. And will you please stand and wait? Then when I'm done, we'll give you a little round of applause. So the first person is Manny Castrita, President-elect. Marta Valle, Past President. Brent Lopez, and remain standing. Anthony Martinez, Vice President Ways and Means. Where's Anthony? Great to see you here. Eat more chicken. He's a franchisee of Chick-fil-A. That's why he's a. Thank you. And I don't know if Becky, if you're watching us, is that the camera right there? If you are, please stand. Sergio Estrada, he's Vice President for Membership. Dr. James Jones, Vice President for Alumni Engagement. Arturo Barrio, Secretary. And of course, the immediate Vice President, you're there. Thank you, Martha. So, warm round of applause to all of you. Thank you. So, Martha did touch on, and Maribel touched on the retreat, and Martha did the same. And I have the 4 F's of the retreat, and that was kind of the theme of it. And those were, well, we didn't have it a year ago, so we had to elevate that, so they became twice the food, twice the fun, twice the friendship, and twice the fundamentals. And the fundamentals essentially is to follow the lead of Dr. Wilson, and that also the team of Jake Logan. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that, Aubrey and John Aranda, thank you for what you've done in the past with me and for the College of Engineering. So I think that for the next 12 months, we're ready to take and bring more innovation. We have to adapt to new challenges, implement strategies that will take us from good to great, and we shall not try to reinvent the wheel, but perhaps make it better. We should not try to build new bridges, just that, but make them stronger and more efficient. And we should take all the necessary steps to make Utep where everybody wants to attend. And that means our children, our grandchildren, and not because we say so, but because we are one of the top 5 schools in the state of Texas. So I like to leave you all with a quote, and that is from Albert Einstein. And he said, I wasn't there, but I hope that what I got from it was true. He said that a person who never made a mistake never tried anything new. So let's try something new, be a top 5 school in Texas, and go Miners!
Thank you, Berna. I know I speak for everyone when I say that we're very excited about your year as president. It's going to be great. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. As members and friends of the Utep Alumni Association, your support is crucial to the success of this organization. We have one last gift for Martha this evening as she ends her term. We have framed the Utep magazine article featuring Martha when she took the helm as president a year ago.
Thank you, everybody.
Martha, we hope you always look at this and remember how much we accomplished together. Before we depart, I do want to acknowledge the alumni and donor engagement staff who worked hard in partnership with the alumni board this past year to make so much of this happen. They're mostly in the back, but I am going to ask them to stand. And if you can hold your applause until they're all standing, that would be great. We have, well, she couldn't join us this evening, but Dr. Sandra Aguirre Covarrubias, who's the Director of Communications and Alumni Partnerships, Liliana Barrios, Director of Alumni Engagement Programs, Judith Heredia Perry, Alumni Programs Coordinator, Valerie Herrera, Membership Coordinator. You can stand. Alejandra Lopez, Marketing Coordinator. Melissa Rivas, Student Alumni and Parent Program Coordinator. Jessica Castro, Alumni Network Development Coordinator. And Alan Cruz, Graphic Designer. If we could give them all a round of applause. And I also want to thank Mike Picture and his team from Academic Technologies for the live streaming this evening. We tried something new and hopefully you all like it and we can keep doing that. We really hope you enjoyed this event and we hope to see you at our upcoming events, which do include the return of our annual Alumni Association Golf Tournament on September 17th and the upcoming homecoming festivities. At this time, I would like to ask all of our current and new board members, as well as past presidents of the Alumni Association who are with us today, to join us at the podium for the traditional group photo with Dr. Wilson. Thank you all, and go Miners!
Go Miners!